So let's get started with creating the lead add form. So first I will create a lead controller and also its model, the migration, so that we can start saving the data into the database. So I'll go into my terminal. I'll create the migration, so M controller, okay, and we will call it the lead model, so model slash, I'll call this models, the folder. So once I do that, I get my model. Okay, I should have a controller inside here. Okay, and I should also have inside my database migrations this a leads migration file. So let's first start with this. So what do we need? We need name, email, phone number, age, and maybe a column for interested package and date of birth. Okay, so let's just start with that. All right, so we have these fields. I have the name, email, phone number as string fields. I have age as integer, string interested package, a date field for the date of birth, and an unsigned integer field to save the branch ID on which the lead was added. Okay, so with this basic information, I think we should be able to get um, the migration up and running. The only thing which I will do is inside my model, I'll do guarded equals empty so that I can use the create function to add all these properties which are there in the database table. Okay, now I'll go here and my database is already in place, so I'll do a reseed page partition, migrate, refresh. I'm doing a migrate reset because I had already written the code before making the video, but in your flow you can directly do PHP artisan migrate and you should be able to get the new table. So yeah, that's only one thing. So you can see that leads table already exists is what it is saying. Let me go and delete that. Okay, then I'll do this and I should get everything in place. There are two users, the leads table is empty. Okay, and now I think this file's work is done. The model is done. Now we need to work with the controller. So the first thing which we need to do is create a page and return it back as an inertia response so that we can get the form. So I will render a component which should be inside leads lead add, which means I'll go into my resources, JS pages, I have leads slash lead add dot view. This is going to be my page which will be rendered. Okay, why don't we import the layout. And let me see how we had done the dashboard. So inside layout, we have container, right? So why don't we follow the same thing in here? Here we hit refresh. We'll come over here. Okay, it still says page not found because inside my web.php I haven't defined it. So lead add should work. No, it doesn't. Okay, it's leads slash add. So okay, so our page is coming through view with the inertia response, and the next step is for us to create the form and start saving the information into the database. So we'll come back to our Vue.js component, which is our form. Okay, this is supposed to be our form, so let's hold on to that. I'll create a form tag first. Okay, and in here we will first do @submit and dot prevent. Okay, this will ensure that the form doesn't submit on the server side, and we are able to handle the submission through JavaScript. So we'll have a method in here. Okay, we'll come back to this later. First we will finish off our layouting. Okay, so I'll have a two column layout. Okay, and in this I'll have form group, in that a label. So we need to bind it to a model. Okay, so I'll do v model lead dot name. Okay, id we can stick as name because our label is also name. Okay, and let's do a tab index equals 1. So whenever we hit the tab, this is the first field which will be in focus. Now we have done lead dot name, so what we need to do is in our data we need to define all these fields so that there is no confusion for Vue to understand what we are trying to do with that object. So we have lead as an object, and then we have name. Okay, so these are the 5 fields which we will be capturing. So now come back to our form. Let me quickly complete this, but this is the basic way we will create all the fields. I'll refresh once to show you how this is looking. Okay, so we will have 2 columns and all the 5 fields will come here. Once I complete this, I'll come back. Alright, so this is my form which I have completed. As I told you, there are 2 columns to this. So one row has 2 columns, and there is one more row where I have added a button. Okay, and this is how the form looks. So this is the first row till here with those 2 columns and then the button. Okay, and the first has the name and phone number and interested package, so which is this. Okay, the tab indexes are 1, 3, 5, and then in the next column I have email, and so this should be 2 and 4. So I have email and birthday. So now if I hit refresh, let's do one thing. So I am on the name field, then email, phone number, birthday, and interested package. I was able to navigate properly using the tab to all those form fields, and lastly I hit the forms submit. Okay, so the basic form is done. Now let me open up my console This is our lead ad. Okay, so Amitav, this is working. Email is working. This is fine. Okay, we need a calendar here, so I'll change that and some package. Okay, but all the fields are working, so let's quickly come to the date of birth field. This is phone, birthday, date field. All right, so now we should get a date picker. So that's done. Now, why don't we look at saving this information? Okay, we need to send it to the server, and once we send that to the server, we should be able to save it.